Hi everyone, here we are to discover what's on the new Norwegian ship, the Aqua. Let's move on now to the ship's pool. The main pool, which is located on deck 17. Here we have two jacuzzis that they call infinity jacuzzis on the sides. In general, this area has a very clear view, as we don't have any overhanging decks, stairs, or anything obstructing the views on top.
Yes, I think the spaces here are a bit more, spread out. Instead of having a rectangle full of sun loungers, let's say they play with various levels so there isn't so crowded, giving the feeling that people are more separated.
On this ship, you have to keep in mind that apart from this pool, on deck 18 we find the aqua park for kids, and we also have the terraces area, which offers a 360-degree view of the sea, located on deck number 8. What do you think?
Well, they are spacious, modern terraces and very close and fantastic views of the sea. Besides this, it makes people distance themselves a bit more from one another, and it's a calmer area. Because one of the drawbacks of cruise ships is that when you have a sea day, sometimes you get the feeling that you're with a lot of people. And so, all these spaces mean there's more choice, and the space feels more spacious.
Deck number 8 is one of the decks where there will be the most activity, not only because of the terrace, but also because that's where the shops are located. Specialty bars and restaurants are also located there, and as we were saying, there's a lot of space to walk, as it goes all the way around, and we have numerous bars.
Yes, and also sofas, because many times on other cruises around here they're the typical sun loungers that people can move around, or areas where there are a few of them. And here we see these very modern, comfortable, flower-shaped sofas with your little table in case you want to work a bit, be on your phone. You're a bit more isolated.
Right, what they're looking for here is to create somewhat more inviting spaces, with designer furniture. Some are partially covered and can also be used for having a drink. And we also have areas for eating, because as we've said, there are some bars and restaurants here.
And then also here it must be an area with very good weather conditions, both sun, air, the sea breeze must be good. The good thing about these spaces is that they block more wind compared to the upper decks. The area is specifically designed with wind barriers to create a more comfortable environment for guests.
And now we're seeing an area that is exclusively for adults, the Vibe Beach Club. Now it's very common on many cruises for them to always have their adults-only area. You have to keep in mind that many times kids, as is normal, they always shout, run around, and so these areas are increasingly becoming popular.
This area is strategically located on the opposite side of the ship from where the aqua park is where the kids are. We have two infinity jacuzzis, just like in the main pool area. And notice that there are all kinds of sun loungers, and these larger ones will surely be the most in demand. They all face the sea, and everything also connected to its respective bar, so guests are always satisfied and can take advantage of their drinks package.
And now we're seeing a very large games area. Look, I even see a bowling alley, which isn't very common. It's not a full-scale alley because we see the pins are quite small, and perhaps it's a spot where there might be a bit of crowding because everyone wants to play at the same time. But there are many other types of games.
There's quite a variety. It's an area that I think will be quite popular because it covers a very wide age range. And then we also have on the top deck, deck number 20, this basketball court, which isn't just for playing basketball. It can also host other games. And we have these screens.
This is located on the top deck, and these screens have special LED technology that allows for these digital effects, which can transform it into a dance floor at night, and the space can be repurposed at other times. The truth is that new technologies play an increasingly important role on cruises.
Let's see. Here we have another area that is located on the top decks where the slides are. It's the stadium area that includes some games. Everything with the theme. You can see that everything is carefully designed to fit with these colors. And there, we see the structure above the Aqua Slidecoaster.
Let's move on to the restaurant areas. This ship doesn't fall short there. There are many specialty restaurants, but keep in mind that accessing these restaurants is not free.
Of course, but also the person who is going on a cruise likes to eat well, not just grab a burger. But when dinner time comes, you want to go to a good restaurant, right? So for this reason, I think cruises are making sure that there's all kinds of restaurants.
And in the case of Norwegian, they have their More at Sea package. That includes access to several of these restaurants. And you can also, along with the restaurants, opt for premium drinks packages. They also have a shore excursion discount for the first person in the stateroom of $50. It also includes the Wi-Fi package and reduced rates for the third and fourth guest, who only pays small fees on selected cruises.
Here we have one of the most popular restaurants on this ship, because in this restaurant is where we can see the chefs cooking in front of you. That nowadays is increasingly common on cruises, and the fact that a lot of the gastronomy is overseen by famous chefs. Right here, we can share with other diners an experience that already changes from the typical buffet or restaurant.
Because it's very difficult for everyone to choose the same night to go to the same restaurant. People spread out more. And then also the timing. Before, there were the two typical dinner seatings, and Norwegian was one of the pioneers in having flexible dining hours. And what do you say about the design of these bars? Everything looks very designer, very magazine-like. Indirect lighting, relaxing tones. It's good for taking photos.
Of course, in the end, the better the ship, well, the more valuable these sea days become. And as we can see, there are bars that not only have beautiful interior decoration, but are also connected to the outer decks with the terraces. And they also have activities, as we can see here with the darts, right?
Right? And let's see now from an aerial view of these images we have of the ship. Here we can see all the decks it has, and you can see better the area of Deck 8 that goes all the way around the ship. And these colors that distinguish Norwegian.
And here we have, from this view, you can observe the spectacular main attraction of this ship, which is the hybrid between a roller coaster and a water slide, the Aqua Slidecoaster, which starts on one of the sides of the ship, specifically on Deck 18, and from there, we have an ascent propelled by a mechanical arm that pushes you upwards so that you come out at full speed through these slides, and you have two different courses.
It's an impressive attraction that must be pure adrenaline. To do as a couple, two can go up at the same time, one on each side. And then we also have the drop, which is undoubtedly another of the ship's attractions in terms of entertainment.
Of course, each cruise line is putting effort on different types of attractions. Let's remember that in our first video, we showed one of the Norwegian ships that had a go-kart racing track. It's incredible how they can put together something like that.
Yes. Most mainstream cruise lines always have attractions on their best ships that really grab attention. Disney, Royal Caribbean, and now Aqua presents this spectacular slide coaster. Well, that's it for this video showing the interiors and the most outstanding areas of the Norwegian Aqua. Make sure you like and subscribe, and visit topcruiseplan.com for more news. Thanks for watching.